These are the headlines. Israel widens its offensive with airstrikes on Yemen, hitting power plants and a seaport in response to missile attacks on Israel by the Iranian-backed Houthis. In the last hour, there's been another Israeli strike on the Lebanese capital, Beirut. These are the latest pictures from the scene. More than 50 people were killed on Sunday. But among those caught up in the violence are children and families. We report from a hospital in the Bekaa Valley.
Well, within the last few seconds, we've had a strike. We heard the plane in the air, then we felt the impact. The windows here shook, they rattled. And it's an indication of how nowhere here is safe.
Kemi Badenoch walks into a row over maternity pay as the Tory leadership contenders vie for support at the party conference in Birmingham. And Austria's far-right Freedom Party is holding its lead as votes are counted in Sunday's general election. Now, an American country singer, songwriter and actor Kris Kristofferson has died, aged 88.
Now, a SpaceX rocket with 2 crew aboard has successfully docked on the International Space Station.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, great names for astronauts, arrived at the station in June. They were supposed to spend only 8 days there. They had to prolong their stay, though, because of a technical problem. But they're coming home. They're expected to be back now in February.
Do you think they took enough clothes? I worry.
Change of pants till February. Yeah, let's hope so. Here, the Conservative leadership contender Kemi Badenoch insists she does believe in maternity pay after a row over comments she made on the first day of the party conference.
Here's lyrics-inspired Generations. Award-winning country music star and actor Kris Kristofferson has died, aged 88.
1 month until the Chancellor's first budget. Good morning. She has warned that tough decisions will have to be made. What might that mean for you?
A heavy defeat for Manchester United, but their manager Erik ten Hag says he doesn't fear the sack as fans leave early following defeat to Tottenham.
Rupert Campbell-Black, champion show jumper put out to pasture. It's an arrogant brat.
And as Jilly Cooper's Rivals hits our screens, she's going to tell us what it was like to revisit her 1980s bestseller.
Lots of sex. And I mean, it's just very, very, very advanced, really.
Are you shocked by your own book?
I'm slightly surprised. Did I write that?
Another big industrial story today because the UK will pass an historic landmark when the country's last coal-fired power station closes at midnight. Ratcliffe-on-Soar in Nottinghamshire has been generating power for the last 56 years. When operations end, the UK will become the first major economy to quit coal. Today, Scotland will see its minimum alcohol price go up by 15 pence per unit to 65 pence to keep in line with inflation. It means a bottle of vodka will be £5 more expensive than it would be in England, where there is no minimum pricing. People who keep poultry or other captive birds outside in England and Wales have until midnight tonight to register them with the government. Owners who fail to do so by the 1st of October could face a fine of up to £5,000.
Hundreds of people have gathered in West London in the hope of saving a popular local theatre. The Beck in Hayes is under threat as its operator Trafalgar Theatres failed to reach an agreement with Hillingdon Borough Council over its funding. There's now a risk it may close early next year, but many hope it won't come to that.
It's a community resource. We go there to watch the cinema sometimes.
There's some people there that's their only day out during the whole week. You know, if you took that away from them, then they would be lost.
No, we have absolutely no intention of closing the theatre. It is not in our plan. Our intention is to keep this theatre open.
Next, Old Marylebone Town Hall is gearing up for one of the busiest days in its history. The venue in central London, where stars including Sir Paul McCartney and Cilla Black tied the knot, has now been hosting weddings for a century. So, to mark the milestone, 100 couples have been invited to hold their big day there tomorrow.
We're starting early. Our first ceremonies are at 8 o'clock in the morning and the last ceremonies are at 10:30 in the evening. And we have 7 rooms in which to hold those ceremonies. So there'll be quite a number of brides and grooms coming through the door through the course of the day. So we'll be having weddings every half hour effectively. And people come from far and wide to get married here. So it is a really special place.
3 people are due in court after food was thrown at works of art by Vincent van Gogh in the National Gallery. 2 sunflower paintings were targeted with orange soup on Friday. Stephen Simpson, who's 61, Mary Somerville, who's 77, both from West Yorkshire, and Philippa Green, who's 24 and from Cornwall, have been charged with causing criminal damage. Treasure hunters have made an exciting discovery on the banks of the River Thames. Have a look at this. This medal is thought to be from the University boat race held in 1872. It was found in Southwark by mudlarkers Tom Chivers and Nicola White. Well, they think it could be a souvenir from the event, and they think it may have been dropped due to the freezing and windy weather on that day.
At 6, Israel says the next phase of the war with Lebanon is about to begin. As Israeli tanks and troops gather on the border, Hezbollah says it is ready to fight against an invasion.
And here in Lebanon tonight, there's real fear about what that could look like, stirring memories of the last war between these two sides nearly 20 years ago. I'll have the latest from Beirut.
Also tonight, a huge moment of history. After 142 years, the last of the UK's coal-fired power stations will be switched off tonight. Hurricane Helene brings unprecedented flooding, more than 100 dead and 600 unaccounted for in the United States. The BBC apologises to former Strictly contender Amanda Abbington and upholds some but not all complaints against her dance partner Giovanni Pernice. And hundreds of passengers are finally about to set sail on a 3-year cruise after being stranded in Belfast for months.
I had a really hard time sleeping last night. I'm super excited, feeling the butterflies.
Modern slavery on our high streets. Victims were forced by a gang to work in a branch of McDonald's and others in a London factory supplying bread products to supermarkets. The BBC found failures by firms to spot signs of modern slavery. Now the gang's victims tell their own harrowing stories.
It was terrible to wake up every morning, and I didn't want to wake up. I'd rather be dead.
We have an exclusive report, also on the programme. The mothers from ethnic minority backgrounds feeling let down by the system as a new report highlights disparities in maternal care. Plus, the famous faces who've married at Marylebone Town Hall as it gears up to celebrate 100 years of weddings. And we meet the pupils taking on the Kindness Challenge to spread a little joy in South East London. 2 more teenagers have been charged with murdering a 15-year-old schoolboy in Woolwich. DeJourn Campbell was stabbed to death with a zombie-style knife last Sunday. An 18-year-old appeared at the Old Bailey this morning, charged with his murder. 4 Metropolitan Police officers are facing disciplinary proceedings over their alleged failures to take action against David Carrick, who raped 12 women while serving on the force. The police watchdog, the IOPC, said a complaint against him was made in 2002, but no referral was made to the Met's Internal Standards Department. And Londoners are being reminded to dispose of dangerous materials safely after an explosion in a refuse truck in Newham injured one of its crew. CCTV from the truck shows the moment an empty canister ignited after being tipped into the back. It had been thrown away in a normal household bin.